Today I'm gonna set up a 10-gallon nano aquarium in my office. Don't go anywhere. So I have this 10-gallon aquarium and I have this really nice TV stand that I found on the side of the road. I repurposed it, I painted it flat black, and right now I obviously got a lamp and a pothos on here right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and set this thing up. I'm looking forward to doing a little bit of a biotope like aquarium, a local biotope here from Vermont. So I'm going to be using some local stone and stuff like that. We're going to get into that right now. So I'm really enjoying having my own studio slash office space. Right now it's actually got a really heavy echo, and I'm just starting to kind of decorate and get some aquariums in here. So this 10-gallon aquarium is going to be my first aquarium here in my office, and I just want to share with people how simple it is to set up a little office aquarium pretty much anywhere. This is not much of a footprint at all. It doesn't take up too much space, and you can definitely get a tank smaller than this. A 5-gallon aquarium can be just fine as well. I had a little 5-gallon aquarium in a cubicle at one point. I really feel like there's a lot of benefits to having an aquarium in your office space. It's definitely very relaxing. It's soothing, even just the white noise if you have a hang on the back filter. Another really nice thing is a 5 or 10-gallon aquarium is not going to be a lot of maintenance. Very easy keeping, and depending on what kind of fish you put in there and what you stock it with, you shouldn't have any problems. Well, I kind of really like the way I had the corner set up here. It's kind of cute. I love the pothos that Amber hooked me up with, and she went to a little yard sale thing and found this lamp, and at first I wasn't too into it, but it's growing on me, that's for sure. But now I'm gonna have to go ahead and put these somewhere else. They're all gonna have to come down off of here, and we're gonna have to find a new home for them. Eventually I'll get something else in this space. And this pothos is gonna get a new home. It's probably gonna end up on the bottom shelf. I'm not sure, but for now, it is gonna get out of the way over here. Okay, I wanna share with you all the hardscape that we're gonna be working with. I got a mixture of things. This is all slate that I collected in a video that Amber and I put out about 2 weeks ago, I guess, of collecting hardscape. And so I have a mixture of things that I've cleaned it and broken it down into different sizes. Sorry about all the noise in the neighborhood, but it is what it is. I love the slate here, all the local slate. So I have some really nice pieces of slate here. This is a little bit different rock, but this is going to be more just to build it up a little bit and to not waste too much substrate, and just kind of build up with this a little bit. And then you'll see I have slate about this size. I like these size pieces here, and then it gets a little bit smaller. It's about that size, really cool. And then there's obviously a little bit smaller stuff, and then the little stuff, the little tiny stuff. I love how it breaks off into these shards. They're almost like little spears, like little arrowheads and stuff. Really, really cool. I look forward to putting this into an aquarium. I just want to go over everything that we're going to need to get this done today. Obviously we have all of the hardscape, we have the bigger stuff, medium-sized stuff, and all of the different small pieces. I have a sponge filter for now. We have the air pump that I just did a review on, the Vivosun air pump. This is actually battery-powered air pump. If I can... It's just, there's no wires. It's battery powered. Obviously I'll keep power on it, and then when the power goes out, it'll run from 11 to 44 hours. Continuous or non-continuous use. And I can turn it off just like that. Cool. So then I got a little bit of water to start with, some scissors, the 10-gallon aquarium, and for substrate, we're gonna go with Amber's Special Blend. We have a really nice, easy, simple DIY substrate here. We have a mixture of kitty litter, natural kitty litter, and EcoComplete. Not too shabby. It actually makes for a really nice substrate, and it's very beneficial to the plants and to the fish Works really, really well. So we're gonna go ahead and put some of this in the aquarium first, wet it, and then we're gonna cap it with none other than Carib Sea Supernaturals Carib Sea Sand. Carib Sea does make a lot of really cool products. I really do enjoy them. Amber is ready for a sponsorship. I'll tell you what, she uses a lot of Carib Sea, and she will accept nothing else. So we're gonna go ahead and cap it with that, and then the hardscape on top of that, and then we're gonna go ahead and let it cycle. So let's go ahead and get started on this tank. I'm gonna go ahead and move this water over here. We are gonna go ahead and put this tank, which I already painted black on the back with flat black, so it'll work out quite well. I'm gonna go ahead and just center it up here on the table. I think it looks good right there. It's a nice spot for it. I think it's pretty centered. Got the front of the glass clean pretty well. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take one of these deli cups. And we're gonna go ahead and just add some of this. Now I'm not doing a lot here. I'm not going too crazy. I really plan on only doing about maybe an inch, maybe about an inch. I think that's gonna do it, just about, it's about 1 inch. Maybe a little bit less, but that's gonna do the job. I'm gonna go ahead and even that out by hand. Okay, I like that. It's about 1 inch in there. Now, one really important thing to remember before you go ahead and add the sand, the Carib Sea sand, you wanna go ahead and wet this stuff. You wanna get it good and saturated so that when you add the sand, it doesn't mix things all up. This is really light and fluffy right now. There's a lot of air in it. And so that you don't mess everything up, it's really good to just go ahead and add some water first. Now that the substrate is saturated, not just swamped with water, but definitely very well saturated, it's gonna make the clay swell up and get heavy and make everything kind of more dense, which will let the sand lay on top more easily. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the gold here, the good old Carib Sea. I'm just going to add this lightly over the top. I'm going to just take my time to build a cap without, if I just drop it really fast, you could push the substrate out of the way below it and make a little bit of a mess for yourself. But if you just take your time and add it slowly, you won't have a problem at all. Okay, I think this sand is good. I have a little bit more here just in case I need to use it around some rocks, but I'm pretty content with this. It's about 1 inch of the substrate and a little bit less than 1 inch, about 1 inch of the sand cap once I spread it around. I'm trying to be a little frugal with substrate. I'm not trying to get too crazy with this tank. And I really want this tank to be more about the hardscape, more about this slate stone, this local stone. Once I get this stone in here and I get this tank cycled, my plan is to kind of make this a Vermont biotope aquarium, and I'm going to try to go out and collect and source some local Vermont wild aquatic plants. So let's get on with the hardscape. I'm gonna go ahead and start with these larger stones that people are really not gonna see so much. I want these to be kind of in the back of the tank. And I think what I'm going to do is kind of have, I want to have plants as much as I can in here. It's really hard for me because I really love plants. And I also like my hardscape, but on a 10-gallon aquarium, you only have so much real estate. So I think I'm going to have some hardscape coming up from this side and a little bit over here from this side and having it blend out through the sand. So I'm going to go ahead and just, I'm looking for a good shape for this piece. Just kind of want to, like I said, I want to use it to kind of build up this area a little bit more than anything. I also put this other little rock over here. So these are gonna be my 2 points really that I'm gonna work with. I'm not following any kind of aquascaping rules or anything like that. I'm just having a little fun here. If anything, I want it to look more natural and more like something local here from Vermont. So besides all of these pieces in these deli cups, I have these 3 larger pieces of slate. The smaller piece, I already kind of fit it. You can see it's wet. I want to have it in here coming out kind of like that. And I'm gonna layer a bunch more slate on top of that and add some sand. So the idea will be, if you can see the flow going, there's gonna be a bunch of layered slate coming off this way. And then with these pieces, start with this larger piece. I want to have them in there something like this and create like these two forces of rocks going opposite directions. You can kind of see where I'm going with it, but I really feel like these rocks need to, maybe this needs to be angled out a little bit more so that they're kind of coming out at the same angles to give you that depth perception. As you can tell, I'm starting with the larger stuff and going down to the smaller stuff. That's how I like to do it when it comes to scaping tanks. So I'm gonna go with the next largest stones here. So these guys, which are pretty interesting. And I will use these stones, these larger ones. These will get stacked with these two to add on to those. So let's go ahead and add some pieces in here like this. Pardon the reflection, but I'm really enjoying this slate. This is pretty fun stuff. Let me take a step back here and see if we can get a look at it. Okay, it's looking good. I definitely am getting excited. I went ahead and added some stones around the edges, and I sprinkled just a little bit more sand in to kind of bring it all together here in between the rocks and whatnot. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add water to this aquarium. I'm gonna add a piece of plastic or something down here to diffuse the water. And I don't want to stir any of this up and mess any of this good work up. I'm gonna go ahead and fill this up with water and we'll see what it looks like. I am definitely getting more and more excited as I go along with this scape. You'll see the sand cap we have, followed by that substrate there at the bottom with the kitty litter and EcoComplete. I really enjoy that. This is all going to even out and level out, especially if I get some shrimp in here, that's for sure. So I have the Phoenix light up top and there's no air on here. You see I went ahead and put a sponge filter in there. You can barely see it in the cloud. So I want to go ahead and polish this up overnight. So I want to go ahead and get this air pump running. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. It is running right now and it's running full speed. 18 is full pressure, so that's everything running through one airline. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this pump run. We'll let this filter do its thing, polish up this water, and we'll see what it looks like in the morning. Okay, so it is the next day, and I have to be honest, I had to mess around a little bit with the rock. I felt like I just did it too quickly, and I needed to add more rocks and do some more to it. So I did. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Let's see what it looks like. It's much clearer than it was before. I'm really happy about that. I think it's pretty nice. I like it. I think it's pretty. You'll see that I added more stones. I just had like, it was too uniform for even what I'm doing. So I added more stones on this side and made this all one big collection of stones of slate, and then I did the same thing over here. So let's go ahead and take a little closer look. And you'll see what I was going for there. By stacking the slate. Slate is really fun stuff to work with in a tank. I really like having so much of it to play with. So you'll see how I stacked it up there on the sides. It's looking good. Now I definitely still have these rocks here, these smaller pieces that I want to add and scatter around the tank, but I'm gonna hold off on those. They're like the icing on the cake, so to speak, so I'm gonna hold off. So at this point, I really need to come up with what plants I'm gonna put in this aquarium and what fish I'm gonna put in this aquarium. I'm curious, what kind of plants would you stock this 10-gallon aquarium with, and what kind of fish would you stock this 10-gallon aquarium with? Let me know in the comments below. I'm really curious what you put in here. But I am really happy with it. This is my first tank setup here in Vermont, and I just wanted to pay tribute to the natural slate stone of Vermont. And hopefully I could find some really nice local aquatic plants to add into this aquarium as well. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this scape of an office aquarium. I look forward to adding plants to it. We'll see how that goes. Let me know what you guys would put in here in the comments below, totally. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Thank you to all of you that like, comment, and share my content. It means so very much to me. And remember guys, keep your tanks clean, your fish fed, and have fun.